morning, everybody. We're going to give this just a minute to upload and for everybody to go live and share all of these links on here. Share with your Facebook friends, share with your YouTube friends, share with your Periscope friends. And let's go ahead and get started. We have great news. The recall petition was approved for the recall of Gavin and Newsom. We are circulating. And what we want to do now is answer a few of the questions many of you had. There are individuals out there that are trying to print the petition. They can't print the petition. You have requested an email link of the petition that's going to take you back to the online petition. So what we'll do is we'll email you the file. Please be careful to not modify the file if you are going to share it, because again, it's very important that this document be exact. People are asking me questions and us questions about the recall petition, asking for more line items, asking for more margin room, asking for a lot of different things. And this is something we want to go over today and talk with you about the petition. So if you didn't know or if you haven't seen, here is the recall petition. It's a legal size document. So you can see it right here. It's a legal size document. You probably can't read it clearly, but the important part is I'm just going to point to the pages. And mind you, we're going to put a training online that's going to go over all of this one-on-one, line item by line item, and point things out. But I wanted to get this information to you right now because many of you are already circulating. So we're going to walk through this. Be patient. This is the recall petition. It has several sections to it, as you can see. Many of you may have seen these types of petitions at the grocery store, out front of establishments, people collecting signatures. A lot of times they have a lot of line items on them, or they're two-sided. Ours for the recall is very specific, and it's this way for a purpose. One of the things we want to see is the recall be a success, and in order to make that happen, we need as few errors around this process as possible. One of the common errors is printing it on the wrong size paper. So please, when you print out, you go to the link ranaf.org, that's ranaf.org, and you go to the recall tab on our website, and then you go down to download your document, and you download your document, you save it to your computer, and then you go to print it. Please print that document as it says in the instructions on an 8.5 by, I think it is 14, 8.5 by 14 inch legal size paper. And make sure that the paper is clean and nice bright white. Okay, there are no specifications for color, but we just want to make sure that the documents are legible. Also, make sure that when you format your document for printing, that the size of the font and everything on there is not being shrunk down. We have the document set up so there's a little bit more than a 1 inch margin on the top. The Secretary of State requires that this document have a 1 inch margin at the top. So that's how this format is designed. So when you print it, it has that automatically built in. And then the Secretary of State also requires that there be a 0.5 inch margin on either side. Okay, so 0.5 margin on either side. So this is how the document is set up in your printer. It should be automatically. If it's not, adjust it so that way you make sure that you have that 1 inch on the top and 1/2 inch on the side. Okay. The other reason why this document is set up how it is there are certain requirements when we have signatures on a page. There are certain requirements that the Secretary of State has and mandates that surround what goes around this signature. So if we were to have put it on a second side, you may have only had 3 additional signatures, okay? Would it leave an error maybe for the margins? Could be. So we wanted to make sure and maximize success. So we did 3 signature lines. And we did so trying to allow enough space, but unfortunately with the way this document was set up and approved, this left just slightly over an inch at the bottom, and it kind of scrunched up where you're going to put your county. But that said, write legibly, neatly, print clearly. So we're going to walk through this, the document. There's the petition, the intent to petition, the proponents, some of them. Then Gavin Newsom's response is right here. And then he says, do not hand in your signature, your support, or your personal private information to this destructive recall scheme, signed Gavin Newsom, etc. Then right before that, it says each of the undersigned himself, he or she is a registered and qualified elector of the county of blank. This is going to be where you put your county that you're collecting signatures for, okay? That's where you write in your county. And I know it's small, but write it legibly and put it right there. Unfortunately, fortunately for us, Gavin Newsom was so hateful, people will read this and think, of course I'm going to sign it. But the way he's done this, he knows how this would be set up, and that statement would be right above where we're basically asking the county individuals put their county and then sign. And it's an intimidation tactic, and I think that the people won't be fooled by it, but we need to make sure that they understand that this is just his response. And that's not saying they can't sign, that's just his response to our intent up here, where we talk about why we want to recall him. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the county you're collecting signatures for right here in the county space. Right above the signature area, there's a little line that says county. And then if you are the person collecting signatures for that county, after you have these 3 signatures, you are going to fill out the declaration. This is very important. If you are collecting signatures, you are the person who needs to fill out the declaration, because this is stating that you collected those signatures. You'll put your name, and it says right under here, it says on each line, right under it, print full name of person who gathered signatures. That's very clear, okay? Full name. And then down here it will say that my residence and address, including street number, is blank. You need to put that information right here, very legibly. And then if you don't have a residence address, it has an explanation for how to log that in. And then down underneath at the bottom it says the signature. You need to say the city or community where you signed it. And then you need to sign your signature and the date. Looks like this feed is lagging, but I'm hoping that caught up. So I'll repeat that just in case. So then you put your date that you collected, executed where, signature, and then date. All of this information on this form needs to be wet ink. What does wet ink mean? It means it needs to be original pen. And in the case of the signatures and individuals who are signing the petition, they need to sign it in wet ink, and they need to fill it out themselves. There are a few exceptions for disabled folks, but it's important to recognize that this information right here needs to be filled out by each person who wants to sign the petition themselves. You cannot fill that out for them again unless there's a disabled situation. So I want to go over these signature line areas. Okay, many people are saying, oh, that box is so small. Nobody can fill this out. Nobody can write that small. This is the standard that was provided to us by the Secretary of State. Okay, so we have to have 1 inch margin over here, 1 inch margin over here on the sides, okay, because this is how it has to be done. This is where, don't touch that box. That box is for the Secretary of State, okay, over here. on the far side of the residence address. That's for the Secretary of State. They need this to be able to go down and do their work when this petition gets to them. It's important that people fill between the lines. They write neatly. You know, it's 2020. People are not used to writing much anymore. They're used to texting and they're used to the computer. So people need to print their name and their residence address. So they print their name on this line, then their residence address with their city and zip code underneath it. Then they sign underneath where they printed their name. They need to sign between the lines. They need to write between the lines. So when you're talking to people, keep it real simple. Let them know, you know, when you fill this out, print neatly and sign between the lines. It's just like at the DMV. When you sign your name, if you sign it outside of that box, they'll make you sign it again. What we don't want, and this isn't a really great reason to have only 3 documents, is if you've got a whole sheet of documents and somebody goes crazy on it, the Secretary of State could very likely kick the whole thing. So you only have 3 on here where if somebody messes it up, we aren't losing whole pages of people who have submitted their signatures. So that is a plus. But again, please ask for people to take their time to fill out the information properly and to sign between the lines. We did work hard to give enough margin of room and considerably speaking, we did move the margins a little bit to try to allot for maybe upper or lower scribbles to make sure that we didn't get people who are outside the lines. But that said, we had to stay within a certain parameter. So just be sure to understand that this document is the official document approved by the Secretary of State. This is it. You can't move the margins. You can't make a bigger slot. You can't move the sides or the top or widen anything. This is the approved document by the Secretary of State, the official document. So you've been waiting for this. We've been working on this since January to get to this point. Now it's important to take action. Now, what do you do with the petition after you've filled it out, after you've collected a lot of signatures? There are some counties, and we'll have this information for you listed on our website, ranaf.org. There are some counties that have agreed to hold petitions in a locked space because these are confidential. You can't take pictures of these. All of this information that is collected right here is confidential. People hand these over to you as the person who's circulating the circular, and then you turn them in. We hold them in batches. We submit them to the Secretary of State. What are those addresses? We will get those to you. So please collect your documents, hold them for the week. We'll be putting together that list and putting it on our website where you can go to your county and submit your petitions in lumps, maybe every week if you want to go and drop them off. It'll be under lock and key. Also, every week if you need to, if you don't have a lock and key drop-off place in your county, you can mail them to RAN AF, RAN Action Fund. That's us. We will look through them all, and then we will be going by, like I said, county, and having them batched out so that way we can submit them all at once. This is what the requirements are by the Secretary of State. We have a schedule, very strict. The other thing I wanted to mention to you was on the petition, some people were asking, do the people have to live within the county of the page that they're signing? Yes. So if this is a county of Orange County and they fill out Orange County, the people here have to live in Orange County. So if maybe you're on a county line or a tri-county area where people cross over, you might want to have several pages of each for each county that people can sign. Okay, you're from X county. We have that form right here for you to fill out. Or you're from X county. Okay, we have that form right here for you to fill out. That's perfectly all right. But what's important is that the people who sign in these boxes belong and live and are registered voters in the county that is listed on this line. Okay, who can sign a petition? If they didn't vote in the last election, yes, they can still sign this petition. If they are not currently registered voters, their signature isn't going to count. Can they register on the spot if you have registration forms and then sign this petition? Absolutely. So if they are registered California voters, party affiliation does not matter. You don't have to ask people if they're Republican, Democrat, Independent, anything. That's not it. If they're registered voters and they want to sign to recall Gavin Newsom, they can do so here in the state of California. Who can collect signatures? The law is very clear on who can collect signatures for recalls. Okay, you can read the law on our website. It states it on the form. If you go to the ranaf.org, you go to the recall tab. There's a little document there that's from the Secretary of State. It says click here. You click that. It's going to take you to the Secretary of State's website with a list of information, okay, surrounding this recall petition. The information is right there. Read it, but you basically have to be over 18 to circulate petitions. So I want to thank everybody for signing up. I'm going to go ahead and, signing up for our mailer, signing up to receive these notifications. I'm going to go ahead and look at the question list. I have some people have asked questions, and I'm going to answer questions for just a few minutes, and then I have to go. We have a meeting this morning. And I will be working with individuals to answer questions and make sure that all of our leaders have the information they need to be able to get the information you need so you can be successful at the Recall Gavin Newsom effort. So give me just a moment while I move over here to look at the questions. Okay, I have one question here from Stargazer 1995. What about the change.org petition? Any petition online that is an online petition where you sign and you give your name and you give money online, you just fill out your name on the internet. That is not an actual recall petition. An actual recall petition in the state of California to recall Gavin Newsom is this. This is it. There is only one recall petition in the state of California to recall Gavin Newsom. This is it right here. I'm holding a copy of it. Do you want to get a copy of that so you can circulate that petition? You can. You can go to ranaf.org. That's ranaf.org. Go to the recalls tab. Right there, as you click that tab, you're going to see on the top, download your petition. That is the petition approved by the Secretary of State. That document, like I said, I'll be emailing people a copy of that document that they want to be able to print out. If you receive an email of that document, I would suggest, rather than printing something you receive from a friend in an email, that you go right to our website, you go right there to the download, and you download it yourself, or you request a downloaded copy from us directly. Because here's the thing, it may or may not be edited. We cannot guarantee the legitimacy of that document, the security and integrity of that document. It's important that we go right to the source. Democrat operatives, I'm not even going to say Democrat operatives. That was really horribly soiled of me. I'll say progressives who don't want to see Gavin recalled will do it, I'm sure, stop at nothing to fail this and foul this up. So please go right to the source, get the direct information, and obtain it right from us, and make sure that you send people to that page so they can get that themselves, download it themselves, so they have the exact petition. So no, a change.org petition is not an actual recall petition to recall Gavin Newsom. We have DA, God bless you, USA. Thank you, Erin. You're welcome. It's an honor. Craig Fisher, good morning. Okay. YouTube is offline. I'm sorry, guys. We're trying to work with the platforms, but they are really, really nasty. Eric Chambers, where can I sign? Go to ranaf.org, and I'll put that right here. ranaf.org. Let me just go ahead and get you the exact link. Give me just a minute. And where can you sign? These petitions, our hope and prayer is that people are everywhere collecting signatures and gathering in their areas. Until then, this is the day and age. It's 2020. Go directly to our site, to the recall tab, and download your copy. Print it on legal size paper. The directions and instructions are right underneath the download link. Print it out and fill it out. Get your friend in your county to fill it out. Fill out the document and sign if they're eligible, which means they're a registered voter in the state of California and they live in the same county. If they live in a different county, print off 2 forms. Do a county form for them and a county form for you. Submit that form, again, to either our address, which is online, or to your local county headquarters, which we will be listing later this week. So I'm going to go over that again real quick. People are wondering, where do we submit our petitions? Well, we have to collect each petition by county, and some counties have set up centers, and we're compiling a list because counties are still rolling in with their hours and their actual addresses. They're going to be under lock and key where these petitions will be held. So we'll put that together by the end of the week here and hold your petitions all together, and then you can submit them to your county location for analysis. Of course, these are all confidential. Do not take pictures of them. Do not share them with your friends. These are to be held at a central location. And then we have to submit all of the petitions together at once to each county registrar of voters. Okay, so you can, again, mail them to RAN Action Fund, and we have a center as well where we're going through each of the petitions to make sure that the information is accurate. We also have voter information, so we can make sure and contact the voter if something is wrong, let them know they have an opportunity to fix their signature on the petition. We're being very meticulous about this. We're following the Davis recall format. So we want to make sure that was a successful campaign. We want to be successful for you. So you ask, well, why so many different ways of doing this? When we did the gas tax, we did this. When we did this initiative, we did that. We had to do. Recalls are different, and a statewide recall is far different than even a local recall. Okay, so we have to make sure that, especially we, RAN Action Fund, who is leading the charge, have order, we have functions, and that everything's done and processed properly. Okay, I'm going to go down and answer a few more questions, and then I've got to sign off for the day. Yes, so somebody asked, can I just get it and sign myself if I can't get out? Okay, so if you can't get out of your house, if you are an elderly person, or if you, say, are disabled, or you just, you have a printer at home and you want to print it off there and you don't want to have to go into a headquarters or something like that. Yes, you can. You can print out the form on legal paper, make sure the margins are correct, okay? Then fill out your county, like I stated, and then print your name, your residence address, your signature, the city, and zip. And then you fill out the declaration of circulating section yourself. You fill it out. You sign it, and then you can send it to RAN Action Fund. Again, go to ranaf.org. And our address is there on the recall tab. You can scroll down. It says our address. You can mail that form to us, and we will compile by county and then submit them to the county to submit all together, okay? So even if you have issues getting out of the house, or you don't know where to go, or the counties are so big, we are probably going to have several locations in some of the counties, like LA. I think we have 3 places where people can submit these documents to, that they're holding these documents. If you can't get that far, because not everybody can, there is a way to still turn them in, and we will also be providing their addresses as well, okay? So just be patient. Again, this is coming almost 30 days prior to when we got it. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you for keeping us informed. Got it, thank you. Okay, so I just want to let you know question and answers are coming, more of them. We have a lot of them on the website, randaf.org. Underneath the download section, there is a FAQ. We modeled that after the Davis recall because that was a successful recall. That's the information they put out. Very similar. We modified it, we edited it, and we want to make sure that this is a success as well. So as we see questions come in, which we've gotten several of them, we will update that fact. Just be patient. The biggest thing is print this document on legal paper. Make sure there's 1 inch, more than 1 inch, a little bit at the top, 1/2 inch on each side. County's put here. People sign here within the lines. They have to live within that county that you filled out. And the person who is collecting the signatures fills out this declaration, and then gather a whole bunch of these together, and then either submit them at your local drop-off location, which will be listed on our website in the next few days here, and or send them to RAN Action Fund when you have a good amount of them, and we'll process them. I want to thank you everybody for signing up, for volunteering, for putting yourselves out there and getting this done. This is your recall. I know we were featured on Fox and Friends this morning by a strong supporter who, Agnes Gavin, she's been struggling with her own situation here in the state of California, and she wants to see real and actionable change. She wants to see Gavin Newsom recalled. So she mentioned our recall on Fox and Friends, which is just so exciting. Many of our friends are going to be mentioning the recall effort on nationwide news over the next week. When you see those reports, record them, email them to us at join at ranaf.org, so we can have a copy of them and share them with all of our friends online, and you guys can share it around. I want to thank everybody for your support. Please donate if you can. There are people who can't donate. Help with your efforts, your time, and your knowledge and your connections. Together we will take California back, and we will make California golden again, and we will get Gavin Newsom recalled. God bless you. God bless California, and God bless the United States of America.